Hello and welcome back to Talk of the Town. This is the recap for our first ever home game, Widnes Town v Warrington Town yesterday. Warrington Town ran out comfortable 4-0 winners. I'm going to get Alex's thoughts on the game and the occasion as a whole. I wasn't at the game, sadly. I was at a wedding, so I couldn't make it. I wanted to get on someone that went to the game who can give their thoughts, like I said, from a fan's perspective on the whole match day experience, how they think it went, positives, negatives as well. You can be as honest as you want in regards to things that can be improved from a match day experience perspective. It can all be fed back to the club. It's all useful information. And of course, we're going to break down the game as well and how it went. Alex, thanks for coming on, mate. First and foremost, attendance-wise, 623 made it to the game, which I think is a fantastic win for the club in this very, very, very early stage of its rebirth. First ever home game, pre-season friendly against a team much, much higher than us. From your point of view as a fan, how did you find the day and the occasion as a whole?
Well, on the occasion, I think I loved it. You know, playing against that town only down the road, and historically, you know, our towns have always had that rivalry, always in the rugby, but it's nice to play them in the football. And obviously, with the sun helps. It was just a lovely day, regardless of the score. I loved it.
That's great to hear. It looked, like I said, it looked like a good turnout. It looked like your gang of ultras was in fine voice as always. What specifically did you find to be enjoyable about the matchday experience? Was there anything different that you found from the last time you went to watch Widnes FC?
Well, just first and foremost, I think the highlight was just having my club back. It's definitely been a while not being able to watch my team at that stadium, so it's nice to be back. Obviously, you had a DJ there, and it was a great turnout to see so many people come out and support our local town. Obviously, Warrington brought quite a few people away, but there was still loads of people who were there to cheer on our team, and it was incredible to see.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it, with the DJ in the concourse? I was sort of made aware earlier this week on the socials that it was DJ Sophie Jono. Big shout out. She's a follower of the channel on TikTok, local DJ, very well known in the town. So yeah, I thought that was a really nice touch and a nice little sort of something a bit different, isn't it? Something to get people talking, something to sort of build up that excitement. I think in the concourse before kickoff, it can be a little bit muted, can't it, at the stadium? I think we'll all admit that because of the size of the stadium and the cavernous nature of it, especially when there's only a few hundred of you in there. So it was nice to try something different, I think, pre-match to get the blood pumping a little bit more. Do you think there's anything that could be improved? Do you think there's anything that the club maybe could have done better on the day? You can be as totally honest as you want, because at the end of the day, the club are looking for feedback, both positive and negative.
The only thing I've really heard about negatives is just the prices of the pies and stuff like that. I think my mate paid about £9.40 for some pie and chips, which he wasn't happy about, but he still bought it. To be fair, I haven't really heard much negatives about just the occasion. Most of the people that I was with were just enjoying it, which I'm glad to see.
Yeah, again, I'm made up with the fact it was a success overall. I've seen a couple of complaints about the fact that there weren't any printed programs on sale, because there are a few ground hoppers, I believe, went to the game and they were looking for things like pin badges and programs to maybe take away. So I noticed that was mentioned on Facebook, so I think I'll probably feed that back. Prices as well of the food, sure, that'll be taken into account for when we get back into the stadium when the league season starts and we start playing home games there. Another thing was the seating arrangements that I, again, was only made aware of this late last week, that the seating arrangements had changed because they've decided to do some maintenance work on the west stand. What did you think of that? Were you disappointed to not be seated behind the goal, and were you expecting to be when you got to the game, or had you seen the updates in the week?
So yeah, when I got to the game, I went to go obviously meet up with my mates, went towards the west stand to only realise that we were all just in the normal part that we was in, which became usual to watching football in that stand, so it was all right. But I feel like it would have became a bit more interesting if it was all split up, but we deal with what we've got and it was still enjoyable.
No, I agree. It's a minor thing. Like I said, these are nitpicks really. These are things that the club have definitely got. They're on the back burner. They're basically like planning to do these things, but we're planning to eventually, when we can attract regular crowds of the sort of size crowd we attracted against Warrington, we will be able to justify opening that stand, having that as the vocal supporters area. That's the plan anyway. That's the sunny day plan. So yeah, no, I'm made up to here. Gutted that I couldn't have been there because I would have loved to have been there on the first day. But like I said, this is day one. This was a test run out. This is a pre-season friendly. So we will have to get on to discussing the game now. We sort of thought that it might go like this. I know Paul McNally did mention to me last week that he was concerned that Warrington would turn up. They are a step 3 team. They have recently been at step 2. And I was looking at the starting lineup and some of the names that were on it. You got Ewan Bange, who's a proven goal scorer. Step 3, again, 3 leagues above us. We can't stress enough how big the gulf was between the two teams. I believe their wage budget is something like 8 times what ours is or something like that. We've also got Matthias Hevelt in goal, who came through the Everton Academy. You've got Craig Noon, who came off the bench and scored, and he has played in the Premier League itself in the 2013-14 season for Cardiff. Jack Goodwin, who I know from his Prescott Cables spell. These are all top quality players for step 3. We come up against a team yesterday that I expect to be up there in step 3. You know, they showed their quality in the end. But from what I've been led to believe, we competed quite well with them. Certainly up to half-time, certainly up to, I would say, maybe the 60th minute. Can you just give a brief little sort of summary of how, like, the first half went?
Yeah, so I'd say, like you said, it seemed like we could be a bit competitive up until a certain point. But you could still, even though we was being a bit competitive, you could tell the difference between the levels of the club, and there's a lot to improve on, but still, like, it was our second game. We're just getting into the sort of things, and progress will be made eventually. I'd definitely say Zenon Bahula was probably my man of the match. He's got the pace as well. He was quality. Now I've not exactly got any like past parts being a manager, so I'm not really sure. But Josh Corliss didn't seem to do much. He's got that height advantage, and he just wasn't taking it to his play. Sorry, Josh, if you're watching this, by the way.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, the defense didn't look great, but like you've said, the 3 divisions above us, they're going to know how to break us down and stuff like that. But I'm sure Paul McNally's going to be able to sort that out for our next game.
Yeah, like you said, it seemed to be a quality issue rather than like any sort of a lack of effort or lack of fitness or lack of application. He mentioned in his post-match interview that he was really, really happy with how the players applied themselves to the game. The conditions were really, really tough as well. It was so hot. We were having drinks breaks as well, weren't they? Warrington's squad is just generally bigger, more fleshed out, and more tight-knit than ours. We are a brand new team. Last week's game against Stockport Georgians, for a brand new team, we looked very, very compact, and we looked very, very much like a team that had been playing together for longer than the few weeks that they have. Yesterday, we met a team that not only knew each other better, but had been playing at such a higher level. And in the second half, with the 3 quick-fire goals, I think the quality did just show, didn't it? Mentioned Josh Corliss been isolated a bit up front. That is something that was mentioned as well. I saw some comments on Facebook, also some comments on social media, you know, that mentioned that he was a little bit like, he was marked out the game a little bit. Again, coming up against step 3 centre halves, it's a tough test, isn't it? For me, it was more about getting the minutes in the legs of the players. Another game where the players are sort of getting to know each other, getting to know the runs that they make, the defensive, another game for the defensive unit to sort of like get used to each other. And missing vice captain Jack Hunt is a big thing as well. Missing a senior goalkeeper is a big thing. I believe we had one of the lads from the under-21s step in yesterday. I know Warrington's quality completely shone through in the end, but was there anything you can pick out from the second half? Were you impressed with the fitness levels or like certain elements of the attacking play or what?
So I'd just say, you know, the lads give it their all, but still, we can't really do much when we're playing against a team 3 divisions above us. The fitness levels a lot better from Wire, and they can only do as what they can do best. But yeah, I mean, I even heard our fans chant, if they score their 4th, we're all going home. But they just gave it their all, and we can't really do much or even ask for more from that. we just go on to the next one.
Yeah, again, it's one of them where you've got to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. I think this is valuable minutes in the legs and a valuable tough test against the toughest opposition we will face all pre-season. We're on to Droylsden away next on Tuesday. Will you be going the game? This is a team that are a couple of rungs below where Warrington Town are, but this will still be a very, very, very tough game because they are a strong Northwest Counties level team. You going? Are you looking forward to the game? How do you think it might pan out?
Yeah, so Droylsden's going to be a nice little away game. Arguably, I've said to a few people, it's probably going to be one of the nicest grounds that we're going to visit all season. Obviously, it's like quite a historic club, so it's going to be nice to visit. And obviously, I will be going. Hopefully, they do sell pin badges as well because I'd like to collect one.
I'm sure Droylsden will be selling pin badges. Yeah. Again, though, coming up to this game and previewing this game of sorts, I think it may be another game where Droylsden's quality may shine through. They are a big club at this level, as you mentioned. Went up as league winners last season from Step 6, I believe. It's going to be another one of them games where it may turn out like the Stockport Georgians game. You know, our superior quality might shine through in the end, but it's another tough test. And these are the sort of games that will teach us more in the long run than if we were playing a lot of teams that you know are leagues below us or whatever. Hoping to see a couple more players. I know I've got sent the lineup for the Warrington game, so I know who's who in the team, but I can't release that information just yet on the wishes of Paul McNally, who still has a lot of these lads on trial. So over the coming weeks, as we go into pre-season, we're going to learn a lot more about our own squad, and we're going to be able to talk a lot more in depth on these sorts of videos about who played well, who did this, who did that, who needs to improve and stuff like that. It's a bit tough to do these match reviews and match previews at the minute without being able to name players, isn't it? Yeah, Alex, I appreciate you coming on, man, and giving your thoughts on the matchday experience as a fan and the game as a whole. We'll catch up in the week or next week and we'll discuss the next few friendlies. We've got a busy week coming up. We've got Droylsden away on Tuesday and then we've got Lower Breck on Friday. And I assume we'll be taking a second string to win Stanley on the Saturday. Do you want to close out with a message to the fans? A thanks to everyone that turned up.
Yeah, of course. So obviously, thank you for everyone coming to support our local, and I hope to see many of you come to the away games because now the rest of our pre-season and for the first month of the season, it's all away games. So we'd love to see a bit of a crowd supporting our team, and it'd be great to back them. So hope you can get there.
Yeah, I echo that completely. Get to these away days because these are what non-league is all about. For me, this is much more like football is more about how it makes me feel. And like I felt so proud yesterday seeing this brand new little club in this little rugby town of ours attract such a great crowd for a pre-season friendly first ever home game, a Step 6 club as well. It made me feel proud of the town and the community as a whole, and it made me feel proud to be a part of it as well. I'm sure it did for you and all the lads as well. So I think that's a perfect way to close out. Get yourself to Droylsden Tuesday and check out the pre-season friendlies that are upcoming as well. See which ones you can make. Also, if you haven't bought your season ticket, you can still buy them. You can still sign up for the membership. All details are available on the Widnes Town official club website. And that is all from me for now. And that is all from Alex. So we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.